I have always loved fantasy books, and I was born a hopeless romantic, so the genre of romantasy seems like a perfect match. But I'm a bit hesitant. So many people seem to dislike the popular romantasies. It was time to dive in and see for myself. I went onto TikTok on a quest for popular romantasy books. Unexpected twists and turns ensued. I am so in this romance. Oh my god, I'm so invested. I did read some very emotional scenes at the hairdressers, which was challenging for me because I was like, at the end, we will find out if I've indeed graduated as a romantasy TikTok girly at the University of Grand Gestures, Fae, and Mystical Creatures. Yeah, it's definitely cozy and romantic and it's fantasy, but like maybe I'm just not sure on the terms of the genre, I guess. I was literally almost crying a second ago. I'm like emotional. I might become a dropout, who knows? I left my books in the other room. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Leora Eileen, and I make content on here about books, reading, writing, and sometimes other stuff as well. And today I am finally doing my romantasy vlog. I've been talking for a while about wanting to get more into romantasy. I am a big fantasy reader. I also love reading romance books. I am a hopeless romantic and I love me some swooning, some slow burn, some enemies to lovers. So I knew I had to do a deep dive, or like a not so deep dive, into the romantasy genre, and I definitely wanted to try out some of the books that have been very popular over on TikTok. Now, I'm on TikTok myself a lot. I love TikTok. I think it's such a creative platform and I love making short form content like fashion videos as well. So I'm really excited to be on TikTok. And so I did like a browse looking into some romantasy books that are very popular on there, and there was one author in particular that I've seen coming up a lot on TikTok, and I've seen this author being mentioned in my YouTube comments a lot as well, so I knew I had to read one of their books. And that author is Rebecca Ross, who has written A River Enchanted and its sequel. Now, I already owned this, and then also Divine Rivals, which I've just started. I kind of knew I could have also just started with this one, but everybody was raving on TikTok about this one, so I had to know what was going on. There were people in my comments as well being like, that's amazing, you should read it. So I really wanted to get it. So here's some clips of me going out to buy this book, which was very unnecessary, but I'm very happy I did so. I hope you guys enjoyed those clips of me doubting whether to buy the hardcover or the paperback. As you can see, I've gone for the paperback. I just like reading paperbacks better, even though I like the cover more of the hardcover. But it's all good, it's all good. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit about this book. I've started it already. I am having a really, really good time so far, so I'm very excited. But another book I want to read in this vlog is Emily Wilde's Encyclopaedia of Faeries, which I've been wanting to read for such a long time. And I was saving it up for spring, but everybody in my comments was like, no, that's a winter book. It's like wintry. So I was like, okay, well then I'll read it now, I guess. This was already on my TBR, but I also saw it on TikTok quite a lot. So it's also definitely popular on there. So I'm very excited to try this one out as well. So these are the books I've selected. If I really enjoy these, I might give A River Enchanted a little go as well. But this is the romantasy I'm starting with first. So this is my first true deep dive into the genre, although I did notice quite a few books being mentioned on TikTok being very popular on there are books I've already read and liked, so I guess I do already read it, but like this is my first official foray into the romantasy land. I'm very excited. So Divine Rivals is about two journalists. They live in this fantasy world and there's a war going on between two powerful gods. I've never read anything where gods were warring except for Percy Jackson, I think. So throwback. Our main character is Iris Winnow, and she's a journalist at the newspaper, and her dream has always been to be a columnist, and she's kind of having to fight for this columnist position together with her rival Roman, and of course she does not want him to get the position. They're both quite good writers, and she lives with her mother, who's definitely struggling after her brother has left for the war, and he's quite rich and he has a very different life from her. You know, it's difficult if you're rivaling for this position and you have such different backgrounds and one of you needs it more, because Iris is definitely struggling financially, and Roman's like a snob, I guess. I had to start reading it immediately when I found it yesterday, so I've been switching back and forth between the audiobook and the physical copy. And I was listening to the audiobook when I heard this, but at some point she finds out his middle name starts with a C because she sees Roman C. Kit like noted down somewhere, and from that point out she starts giving him like these nicknames with a C, so she calls him like Roman Conceited Kid and stuff like that. I'm really enjoying the banter and the dynamics between these two characters, and I'm just having a great time. I think the main plot and the main story has just started to come up a little bit because she is writing these letters to her brother at the war front, and she's sending them out through this closet, and this magical closet. The next things may be considered a little bit of a spoiler. I'm not sure. I think it's kind of the crux of the story, so it could also potentially draw you in, but if you don't want to know anything, I would just recommend you start reading this and skip the things that I'm going to say now. So this is my spoiler alert warning. She starts writing these letters to her brother, but at some point she gets a letter magically back through her closet door, and it's like, this is not Forrest, this is not your brother, and it's actually Roman, but she doesn't know that. So they are like magically connected somehow, and he lives in this like sentient magical house. So I don't know, there's so many things in like the magic of this book that I'm really enjoying, and I just I love reading about magical journalists, and I'm having a good time. I didn't expect it because I've recently read some like romantic YA fantasy that I did not like at all. I had to drag myself through, but this is hitting home with me. I'm having the best time, so I'm so excited that I'm joining the hype train, and I'm just having a really good time. For those of you who don't know, I am an independent illustrator. I've recently quit my like other job, which was at a vintage store, so I'm like a full-time independent illustrator, writer, and bookish content creator now, so that's very exciting but nerve-wracking. So I guess this is my first full week actually. I didn't kind of realize that. So today I have to do a lot of stuff for the web shop. I'm going to back orders and stuff like that. I'm also currently using one of my bookmarks in this book. This is my Cozy Cafe bookmark. It's one of my favorites. I also sell a design as a tote bag, but the idea of this is that it's like kind of like a membership card for like our fictional Cozy Cafe where you can buy books. I think it's kind of cute. It's like a, you know, like a little club card. We're all like members. So I'm going to be producing some of my bookmarks and packing some orders, and those are my plans for this afternoon. And then tonight one of my good friends is coming over, so I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done, but hopefully plenty. I might just step back into the audiobook for this one because I'm having a great time with that. So yeah, let's get into it. This book has got me in a chokehold. I was literally almost crying a second ago. I'm like emotional. This is so much better than I expected. I don't know. Most recommendations that I've gotten primarily from TikTok have not been my favorite reads, or they're books like that I've seen around already. And I mean, it definitely depends because I follow a lot of amazing booktokers that have great recommendations, but I don't know. There's still like kind of a negative connotation to it maybe. And I think that also depends on the side of BookTok you're on, but I don't know. I've also been falling in and out of love with YA. Like there's times when I pick up a YA book and I just feel like the themes are not connecting to me as much anymore, which is I think normal because I'm 25. But then sometimes you read a story that kind of transcends that, and it doesn't really matter that much what age the main characters are because of the contents of the story. I feel like this book is really doing that. I just think it's so romantic and moving and beautifully written, and Rebecca Ross is definitely a good author. Like, I see where all the hype is coming from with this one. Okay, I have to go into spoilers now because I have to talk about this. I'm emotional. I have to tell somebody. So I'll be going into the spoilers now. So if you don't want any spoilers, be sure to skip ahead a little bit. I just think her sending letters through a magical typewriter to this pen pal, she doesn't know who he is, and they're like slowly falling in love, and it's so beautiful. And then there's the war between the gods, and Roman and Iris are both rivaling columnists. Or well, they're both trying to become the columnist. But then a family tragedy happens to Iris unexpected, and her whole world is sort of tilted upside down. And I noticed already at this part of the story that it was really getting to me, like it was really grabbing me. And that's how you know when it's just really good writing. You can really feel what the author is trying to convey, what the character is feeling. So she goes to the war and she meets new friends. She meets another war correspondent. She stays at this lovely woman's house, which is like a cozy bed and breakfast. But she also sees the horrors of the war, and she has to like sort of think about her life and her brother, and she's confronted with the thing. She misses her brother and she's afraid something has happened to him in the war, but she can't locate him. But that's of course why she's there. She was writing these letters to her brother, to the other pen pal, but that turns out to be Roman. You find out like pretty early in the book. They are like connected through their magical typewriters, which is just, oh, it's so romantic. The way she's yearning for her brother, and she's having all these feelings about the man who she's writing letters to, but she doesn't know it's Roman. This book is doing things to me. I'm just having a good time. It's a really beautiful story. It's a beautiful book. Funny and witty, but it's lovely. I think it's a great read. So I'm very excited to finish reading this. I am literally moving through it so fast. I'm like on page 245 and I started this yesterday. So I'm definitely off to a good start with my romantasy reading vlog. I would say the fantasy aspect of this is like pretty, I don't know, I haven't really noticed that much of it being a war between gods, other than, well, I mean, there's magic in this world. There's like magical buildings and sentient buildings, and I do love that a lot. And I think all the myths about the gods being like woven through the story are very intriguing as well. I love when they give you like a little lore like that, so that's really exciting. And I just love the characters. I love when I don't find the man awfully annoying. That's my biggest pet peeve. Like, that always happens to me, where the love interest, if it's a man, I'm just like, oh, man. So I definitely want to look into some queer romantasy as well. So if you guys have any tips, let me know. Some sapphic ones specifically, I would love that, but you know, any queer ones are welcome. I did some good work today whilst listening to the audiobook. I did almost all of my prepping for the web shop. I make a lot of the products myself, so I always do that on Mondays. So that's what I've been doing. I'm going to do some last final things on my computer, and then I'm going to change into comfies and start cooking dinner for when one of my best friends arrives to eat with me. And yeah, I'm really excited to see him again and to hang out, and I'll update you guys when I've done any reading. I kind of have to pace myself, not just to read the whole book right now, because I do want to give you guys updates. So that's what I'm trying to do, but it's really hard. Hi, it's much later than I wanted it to be, but I'm still reading this. I cannot stop. Like, I might even finish it today, which is wild. Some really heavy things have just happened that I did not expect, but I kind of did expect. And I feel like there's the grand reveal coming up as well, and I'm just not sure how our characters are going to deal with it. So I'm like kind of nervous. I don't want everything to unravel, like everything we've worked towards. I don't want them to become like super rivals again. I just love when you get so excited over a book and you just don't want to stop reading at all. It's my favorite thing. And the switching between the audiobook and then the physical book has worked really well for me as well. I just really enjoy that I'm like so in the story listening, just doing my everyday things. I need to get on with the reading. I'm excited. I need to know what's going on. I need to know. I was right. It's happening, the grand reveal. I don't know how it's gonna go over, but I really don't want a third act conflict because I'm rooting for all the characters. I'm making so much sense right now. I'm just gonna continue reading because I need to know. Good morning. So I have not finished Divine Rivals yet, which is really surprising to me. I thought I would finish it last night, but I was really tired, so I was like, I'm going to bed. And then I just fell asleep. But I only have a little bit left to go and I'm really excited to finish this. I have a lot of work to do today, and this evening I'm going to theatre in Antwerp with my family, so I'm really excited about that as well. But that means that I have to do a lot of things today for work really quickly, and I also have a hairdresser's appointment at like 1 o'clock, so there's plenty of things to do. So I don't know how much reading I'll get done, but this baby is going with me everywhere and I'll keep you guys updated. I'm kind of nervous about going to the hairdresser. Whenever I go, my hair is suddenly behaving really well and I'm like, should I go? I'm in a really good place with the book right now though. You know, the enemies to lovers are lovering, I guess we'll say, and it's very exciting. I just hope there's not going to be a huge conflict. Taking a little break from work because I need to know what is going to happen. I'm kind of at that state right now where I kind of do want to keep reading because I need to know what is going on, but I also kind of want to stop reading because I don't want it to end. I don't want it to be over. I know there's a second book, but I kind of made a deal with myself to only buy one book a month. Like I want to do a month where I don't shop books and then a month where I can buy only one book. So if this was the one book that I bought this month, how am I gonna get my hands on Ruthless Vows? Maybe I'll just listen to the audiobook. But I'm really enjoying like the switching between the audiobook and my physical book. Okay, I need to quickly discuss some plot things now because I need to get them out there. So if you don't want any spoilers, skip ahead a little bit. I need to discuss this. I need to tell somebody. They've just had their first kiss. I was screaming. I was like kicking my feet and giggling. So that's all very exciting. And then they kind of went into this like a really quick thing where they were like, we should get married. And like, I understand they're in the middle of war, so there's like a lot going on, and I understand they want to get married, but I was also kind of shocked. But then again, I was kind of rooting for them, and that has never happened to me. When a romance was moving so fast, I'm usually like, slow down. But with these two, I'm like, yes, you're meant to be together. I am in it with you guys. So I'm very excited to continue my read, although I also do not want it to be over. So I'm going to continue on my little work break, read a little bit more, and then after this I'm going to work some more, and then I have the hairdresser's appointment. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. New haircut results. I'm really happy. It's a lot shorter than I want because I want to grow it out, but it was all dead, so something I had to give. My new hairdresser is so nice. I'm really happy I found them. I still have not finished Divine Rivals. I did read some very emotional scenes at the hairdressers, which was challenging for me because I was like, you know, but I couldn't be weird because I was at the hairdressers. And I'm off to Antwerp now. I'm bringing my book, of course. I'll keep you guys updated. I'm trying to film a clip, but I just noticed that Leonie's like in the background.
I'm too funny.
You explain to the people why you're so funny? No?
I can't.
Yes, she can. So I didn't really do any vlogging today. Me and some friends always do a work together day because we all freelance. This is one of my friends.
Hi.
You might know her. She also does booktube. Did I do reading? No. Did I do vlogging? Also no. But I will commence now. I will update you later. I did start in Wilde's Encyclopaedia of Faeries, and I did finish Divine Rivals, and I have thoughts. So I will come back to you later with those thoughts, probably tomorrow.
It's cold outside, children. We must stay inside and light the fire.
Hi guys, so I didn't film yesterday. Like I said already in the clip that I filmed a few days ago, I have finished Divine Rivals and I've started Emily Wilde's Encyclopaedia of Faeries. So let's talk about this one first. Suffice to say, I'm obsessed with this book. I gave it 5 stars. I loved it so much. I'm so excited to read the next one in the series. I literally cannot wait. I wish I could pick it up right now, but I have to finish the other one that I'm also really enjoying, by the way. If all of romantasy is as good as this book, then sign me up, because I'm there. I will be there. I thought the connection between the main character and the love interest was so good. I think they vibe together so well. I think there's so many beautiful themes of loving and living through hardships and still having joy in this book, and it's just a really wonderful read. I think it's funny, I think it's entertaining. It sweeps you away. I also think the magical letter writing connection between them is just so beautiful, and like a really interesting magic system, and I loved all the mythology about the gods and the stories and the folklore. I think it was so beautiful. Anyway, loved this. Now let's move on. My next romantasy read of the week, I do have to say I'm like on page 117, and it doesn't really read like a romantasy thus far, so I feel like TikTok has done me dirty on this one. It's not really a romantasy thus far. I think it's more just like cozy fantasy with a dash of romance, which I mean I enjoyed that too, but this vlog was meant to read romantasy. Anyway, I did match one of my bookmarks from my shop to this book, and I think it looks so cute. I think if you love the TV show Bones, you would also really like this book, because we follow this professor that's very sort of straightforward, and she doesn't really connect with people. She mostly connects to her work, and she feels ill at ease in the rest of the world and with other people and like in social settings. And she goes to this sort of Scandinavian country to research the fairies that live there, because she's a professor of fairies and she's writing an encyclopedia of fairies. So that's really good. And then her rival professor guy, that's also a researcher, comes to visit her there, and he kind of turns the whole expedition upside down. So in that sense, it's kind of similar to Divine Rivals. I really love her. I really love Emily as a main character. I think she's so funny. I think she's so lovable. I think Bumblebee, the love interest, is super annoying, but he's growing on me because he's kind of funny, and he reminds me of Howl from Howl's Moving Castle, because he's like so dramatic and extravagant and stuff like that. So I am having a good time. I wasn't even really in the reading mood yesterday, and I still managed to read quite a lot of this book, so that's always a good sign. So I'll give further updates as I'm continuing in this book, and I'll let you guys know what I think.
Zijn katten?
Cat-shaped.
Dat is crazy.
Kijk, dit is...
Oh mijn god. Ik vind het wel heel schattig.
Ik ben een soort bejaarde die van puzzelen houdt.
Ik hou ook
en ik hou van
puzzelen
katten.
is mijn nieuwe hobby. Ik heb zo'n rol zelfs gekocht waar je puzzels in kan
Ik
doen.
heb ook zo'n We zijn echt 45.
Ja.
Hi, so I finished Emily Wilde's Encyclopaedia of Faeries. I really enjoyed it. I had a really good time. I do have to say it's not as much of a romantasy as I expected it to be. It was definitely quite light on the romance. It was a very cozy, more sort of cutesy romance, more so than like a spicy, very hands-on kind of romance. But I did really enjoy this book. I thought it was so cute and so cozy. I really enjoyed that I had kind of several mini plots in that sense, and that there was a lot of folklore and a lot of stories about the fairies as well. I really enjoyed the journal-esque style of it as well. It's very much written like as a field journal, as notes for the encyclopedia. And I think also the dynamic between Bumblebee, Wendell Bumblebee, which is like 11 out of 10 name, and Emily Wilde is so great. Like, they're definitely polar opposites, and I thought it was so nice to see that dynamic and to have this sort of like extravagant dramatic man that's like decorating their cozy cottage, and she just wants to do research, and I really enjoyed their dynamic. I thought that was so cute. The build-up was really nice. I enjoyed the tension that they did have. I'm really excited for book 2. I definitely want to pick it up, but I'm not sure, like, does this categorize as romancy? Like, yeah, it's definitely cozy and romantic and it's fantasy, but like, I don't, maybe I'm just not sure on the terms of the genre, I guess. Like, I'm not calling myself an expert at all. I really enjoyed that this book had its creepy moments as well. There's definitely some minor characters and like some fairy lore that's quite violent and creepy and like a bit on the scary side, but at the same time it's very cozy and very fun, and I had a great time reading it. So I'm very happy I picked this up. I'm still sad that the audiobook is not on Everand because I really wanted to listen to the audiobook. I think I would have enjoyed it even more if I could have switched out between the audiobook and the physical copy. Anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed my themed romantasy vlog. I definitely really had a good time making it. Don't forget to check out my web shop if you're interested in my bookish art. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment on what you're currently reading. If you have any romantasy recs, if you don't know what to comment, leave me a nice mushroom emoji because there's so many cute mushrooms on this book cover. I didn't even talk about that, but this cover, so good. I love it. I'm obsessed. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video as well. And yeah, have a great day. Bye guys.